and that to swing it over towards the blue. But he's brought most of those reds around the pink into play.
Well, you could hear a groan from Neil there.
Yeah.
He feels he got a
6.
bit of a bounce off that baulk cushion. To such an extent, as he looks at the cushion now, did it come off a bit quicker than it went on? It's difficult to tell sometimes, but he's not on the easy red he should have been on.
Yeah, it did seem to come off that cushion very quickly indeed, and the only possible pot by the looks of things. Can he get past the blue to take this one on? Well, it doesn't really matter if you get a bad bounce off a cushion and run out of position when you can pot like this. Not only the pot, but to hold the cue ball. It's a natural angle to just roll the black in. He'll leave the reds near the middle pocket. It's a bit risky to try and cannon the reds here. He could do if he wished, but that makes the pot slightly more difficult. But he might try and play the cannon here. And the one at the back of that triangular reds around the pink spot will go. The only problem is he's a bit close to the cushion.
Yes, and certainly farther away from the red than he would have liked. But another
15.
pot right in the heart of the pocket. Thing to watch with Neil Robertson, when he pushes the cue through, you just notice it goes through straight as a gun barrel. That's the secret. If you don't do that, then you have a tendency to put unintentional side on and hit across the ball
22.
slightly. And that's why he's such a good potter.
Yeah, and he also keeps his head very still indeed on the shot.
23.
Perfect now just to stun in between the reds to leave a choice of the two reds. Well, he's going to get there with the head of the cushion as long as he's far enough over. It looked as if he could stun in, but
30.
obviously hadn't quite got the angle to do that. You could just see it there, his head hardly moved at all. It's so difficult to do that when you deliver the cue, especially on a forcing shot.
After the cover, he'll still need the 4 remaining reds with colours. So it's not a formality just yet.
$37. $38.
Doesn't matter who you are, when you sat down in your chair, nothing you can do about it, but he has had 2 good chances in this frame. I mean, this was a tricky pot, but we expect him to pot those. But prior to that, he had a couple of opportunities which he didn't make the most of. Will he get another one?
46.
He'd love to have been able to get in between the two reds. Yeah, if he had had an angle, imagine if he could put the white there, he'd have a choice of both reds, one in the corner, one in the middle. He still might try and get it down to somewhere near there. Doesn't have to do, but that would just be about spot on.
Well spotted, Dennis. That's absolutely inch perfect. And he'd probably play the one to the right corner. He looks very straight on this one to the middle. And the one to the right corner, I would suggest, is going to be a more difficult ball to get on. Well, he's decided to play the one in the middle.
52.
Surprises me a little bit. Now let's see what his position will, because this cue ball's got to travel a little bit now to get on this red, the important last red, of course.
You'd think the yellow would be the best to come back across the table behind that red, but what sort of angle has he got on this brown? Well, not quite enough to get in behind to leave the red for the middle, so it's a long pot up
56.
into the corner. No. That was, where's the red going? It's going over the pocket. It's curling. It's clinging to the cushion there.
Robertson, 56.
At one stage it looked as if it was going to pull away, and then it sort of started turning back into the cushion there. Any more pace, that would have gone in. Now just watch this. At this stage I thought clinging, then it's away from the cushion, and then it's coming back in again, and at any more pace it would have dropped.
1.
Probably could have done without the kiss on the blue, but he's down quick, so he must feel he can hold nicely for the yellow. Well, he used all the pocket there, didn't he?
I'll tell you.
Yes, but with the colours on the spot now,
6.
very warm favourite to take this opening frame of the final session.
8.
I'm not going to question the choice of players' shots, but when Neil Robertson played the one in the middle rather than the one to the right corner, I always felt the one he left behind, if you like, was going to be more difficult to get on, and it caught him out.
$15.
Yeah, psychologically this is a big frame for Judd Trump, because he was sitting in his seat and he felt as if he was going to lose it.
Yes, well, he'd had a few chances, not taken them, and for all money it looked like Neil Robertson, for the first time in the match, was going to go in front.
26.
So the black for the frame. Well, if every frame this evening is going to have the tension and stress that had, we're looking forward to a great night. At the end of the day, Judd Trump once again goes one frame in front, 5-4.
Well, it may be looking fairly tense out there just now, but just before he went out to play, Neil Robertson was very relaxed indeed. In fact, he was sitting in our studio as we were doing our rehearsals. I didn't realise when we were watching him. We thought we'd say hello, Ken and I, from our position on the balcony. Hi, Neil. Got the fright of his life, and he's scarping out there double quick. It doesn't look like it's adversely affected him, it's got to be said. But Ken, when we think about that frame, though, there was one moment that had he the chance to make a decision on, he would do it again, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right. He did end up missing the red and left it over the hole. But have a look at this shot. Now he plays a perfect positional shot. As you see where Dennis has put the cue ball up, he couldn't have put it any better. But just have a look at now. He takes the red that's closest to middle. As John Virgo said in commentary, if he takes the red that is directly into the green pocket, gets on the green or brown, then takes the red over the middle, the frame is over. He didn't get on that red properly. He took the easier one over the middle, didn't get on the red he wanted, subsequently missed it and left it in the jaws for